So you guys were one. I'm hearing a lot of you guys. You guys wanted a theme song shortened, so here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. Sometimes she plays them. So does that. And when she does it with the cat, does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. So it's shorter. There you go. Crazycatlady or Martha Butler does not own any trailers or pictures. I use them under fair use, educational, for education and entertainment.
Hi everybody, Martha here. So, yay, Peter Pan month! I'm gonna review pretty much every single week something to do with Peter Pan until Lumery comes out. So is this Peter Pan month? Yay, Peter Pan month! Because there's so many Peter Pan movies out there. So I don't have to watch that stupid remake. Because there's a bunch of remakes out there as do Peter Pan. Can I just watch all these ones, huh? They're a lot better. So, this one came out in 2003. When I was 14. We went there with for my little brother, around Christmas that year. And I liked this one. This one was very funny, very cute. It's not as dark as the book. If you read the book, Peter Pan, the book's very dark. The book can be very dark if you go and read it. You understand. Only parts like they did not mention in this is the fact that Peter Pan kills the Lost Boys in the book. Like there's a little line that he cuts the boys, and also maybe some of them are dead, and most of the Lost Boys already are dead, and maybe like Wendy and Michael and John are like in between death basically or something like that. And so because if you like studied J. L. Barrie, you would understand that his life was not fun. His brother died when he was 12. When he was 14. He fell in ice, and when he grew up, he found a girl that he liked, but she was already married, and she had 3 kids, and that's where he got the idea of Peter Pan through those 2 life events, and also the parents died, and he got set with the 3 kids. Because for some reason they got to be his instead of the organic kids. I don't know why. That's the way That's the way it happened for all those people in life. So it sucks. But that's why Peter Pan was dark. And this one has a lot of features, has a lot of lines from the book, and a lot of things like from the book, minus the dark parts. Like they have like little like lines from like, oh, the cleverness of me. They quote like, they had like Wendy talk, a couple of like, well, ending's a little bit different because the ending ends with Wendy letting her daughter Jane and her granddaughter meet Peter. That's why in Hook we see Moira in Hook married to Peter Pan, and that's why Peter Pan Return to Neverland, Jane is the main character, because those 2 lines in there. And so yeah, this one basically it's the same story over again, but just a little bit of a twist, kind of. It's more, like I said, it's more like the book. The one who does Peter Pan, does Hook in this, is a really great actor. If you've watched Harry Potter, he is the father of Draco Lucius Malfoy. His name is Jason Isaacs. He does a great job as playing both Mr. Darling and Hook. He knows how to act nervous when he's playing Mr. Darling, and not trying to have a hard time being a good dad and trying to be a good banker and stuff like that. But he's also doing a good job being scary, being funny as Hook for kids. And I just think he does a great job doing both parts, because it's a hard. You have to sell it doing both parts, and both those parts are really hard to sell. And I like that because in the play, Peter Pan, Captain Hook always was played by the same exact person who plays Mr. Darling. That's why in the movies, a lot of the movies, they play both. So that's why. And I like. I think they both did a great job. The kid they got to play, both Wendy and Peter did a great job. You don't get really that much of Native American stuff in here, which is fine. To me, the only part that really matters when it comes to the Native American parts is Tiger Lily. The rest of it doesn't really matter. They just have one of the Native Americans sew up that Michael's teddy bear, and I think that part was fine. And she kisses John this time around instead of Peter, so that's fine. And so when we had the poison, and then we had to have for the Peter Pan, and the mermaids in this actually act more like mermaids in this, because because mermaids and fairy tales are usually like seers. They like sing people to their death, so they're not all like Ariel. So yeah, and that's why in Ariel's book, she's her sisters tell her to kill Eric. Actually, you actually read the book. So there you go. With that part, so because they try to drown Wendy here, and that's why in that line of the original, one of them says, "We're only trying to drown her." so yeah, and they don't have the Skull Rock in here because I guess Skull Rock belongs to Disney, and they called it the Black Castle. Woo! And the crocodile here looks fine. Like, only thing that looks off with the crocodile here is like the eyes. Like, why are they red? Crocodile eyes aren't red. They're normal color. Red's not a normal color. I guess they're just trying to make it look evil, but only one that should look evil too is Hook. The rest of it should be like fine. The crocodile should be like friendly to everybody else but him, since he's only one who wants to. He only wants to eat Hook, because that's the only thing he has his mind on, is getting Hook. And what happens during this part when they're trying to save Tinkerbell from like dying because she ate poison, is by making everybody say in the movie and in the theater, say, "I do believe in fairies," and the only one that does not say is Hook, because he's a bad guy. But even the pirates say it, and Mr. Darling and Mrs. Darling, a bunch of kids in London to say it. And that part is so funny. And, like, I know it probably gets annoying to people, but I find that part so funny. And also part I find funny, because it's not in any other movie I've ever seen before, is Hook flies in this version, because he uses... I'm pretty sure it's not in the book, but Hook flies in this movie to try to catch Peter Pan, and uses what he's afraid what will happen to Wendy in order for him not to have happy thoughts, because in order for you to fly, you had to have happy thoughts, and you also had to have pixie dust, or / fairy dust, whatever you consider Tinkerbell to be. And so that's basically what's it. So he like haunts him, like basically saying Wendy won't let you in. When she gets older, she'll forget you, and you see another person in your place. He is called husband, so he cannot come in. Wendy has forgotten him, and that's what he's afraid of. And what makes him go back up in the air is because of the kiss. And this time it's actually a kiss, because in the play, Peter Pan does not know what a kiss is, or he doesn't remember, and because He's a little kid. He's not supposed to know that. He's a boy. He doesn't want to grow up, and so a kiss would be meaning growing up. And so they usually give him a thimble, and he gives Wendy a nut, because he doesn't get it. He doesn't get the whole point of it. So I like this version because, minus the dark parts, like I said before, it's very close to the book, and I like it. Unlike the Disney version, one of those strange things about when it comes to it, I don't like the original Disney version because it's not like the book, and it has mostly it's not because it's not like the book. So if I do a review for that one, I'll explain another reason why I don't like it, but mainly it's because it's not very faithful to the book. And I love the Peter Pan book. It's just not. It's considered dated nowadays, so I rather them not to do any more things with Peter Pan unless they're gonna do something brand new with it and actually go for the darker parts of it and actually do the whole entire book 100% faithfully and show like how much scary Peter Pan is. So, and since we know Disney won't do that because Disney is a little kid stuff, they really shouldn't bother. But they don't know how to stop themselves, and they won't unless nobody goes to these movies, okay, or nobody watches them on Disney Plus, okay. Though I don't know what's gonna get them to get the clue, but they'll get the clue eventually, hopefully. Get the clue. So, and there's also a news thing. I guess there's a writer's strike going on in Hollywood because not many things are making the money that they thought they were. So a lot of people are getting fired and they want their money back, or they're telling them to make more money, so they're not going to work. And young people today don't understand when you don't make, or people who are still starting out, when you don't make people money in Hollywood, you're not going to keep your job. And you're not going to get paid off. Okay? People just don't understand that. And so, that's basically what I have to say with that. But this movie's really great. I'm probably going to give this one a 7 out of 10. Show your kids on it. It's on Netflix now. It was on Amazon with ads. But if you have Netflix, you can go and find it and watch it instead. And watch a movie that is more faithful to the book. Then go read the book. if you really can stand on a dark story and find one that actually has not been messed with and not been edited or censored, since everything in Hollywood has to be censored nowadays, and get rid of everything that's terrible because they think that kids can't handle diddly squat. So, which they can, because you handle diddly squat when you're a kid. You handle dark stuff in books. I handle dark stuff in my books. You handle things that told you things about things that shouldn't. You might find things you didn't like, but that's because those books were written during a time period where things were different. You should not mess with books, okay? Leave the books the way they were, okay? Especially when the author is considered dead. Is dead, and if you want to change the book, go and ask the author as long as they're alive or their descendants. Don't just change it because people find it wrong, and don't hire people to edit books and make them look proper for today's society, because you are just changing things for the worse, and you're just listening. If you're read, I know I'm going on a rambit here, I gotta get this out of my mind though. If you read 1984, there's a line in there about changing books and just to go with what other people in the world talking. It has to do with a lot of brainwashing, basically, and that's basically what's going on nowadays. Brainwashing when it comes to older stuff. So there you go. That's basically it. So, like, favorite, and subscribe, and bye-bye. Hopefully nobody gets mad for my little ramble, but I had to get it out of there. So, Remember, think happy thoughts and the best the set. You're a good hero. The great of you. Like I forgot what that line was for Peter Pan. So bye.